5280 Sports Network, good morning. Your morning minute on a Monday. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day to everybody. That guy right there is Shawn. I'm Nate Lundy. Thanks for stopping by here as the AFC and NFC championship games are now set. The Broncos, of course, are working on getting their coaching staff set, expecting Joe Woods to be announced any day now to be the new defensive coordinator, the architect of the no-fly zone most recently. As you've watched this coaching staff come together, Mike McCoy, Bill Musgrave, all those things that have happened, Shawn, since last Thursday and Friday, do you think that Broncos fans now are a little more relaxed that it's not Kyle Shanahan? What do you think the vibe is that you've been picking up?
Yeah, well, it depends on how they take a look at it. If they wanted Kyle Shanahan, if they think head coach first and the assistants don't matter, I get why that's the case. The funny thing is the hire of Vance Joseph isn't as simple as Vance Joseph for, say, Kyle Shanahan, because this extra week, and by the way, if you want Shanahan, you got to win another week now, means that so many of those assistants, look, Mike McCoy, Musgrave, those guys weren't going to wait another how many weeks, 2 or more weeks, to take a job as a coordinator. So the Broncos, by acting quickly and being comfortable enough with Vance Joseph to make the hire, also meant that the support structure that Joseph has, when you look at his coordinators and his assistant coaches, is going to be superior than what Kyle Shanahan or Josh McDaniels, whoever ends up taking that job out in the Bay Area, ends up having, because the pick of the litter, if you will, regarding assistant coaches, that's already been completely picked through.
You look at this team, and so often we talk about what the Broncos are able to do in free agency when it comes to the players. When we get around to March and we start looking at how you construct the 53-man roster with the free agents that are available from a player standpoint, well, I think if you look over the course of the last week, to Shawn's point, the team has done very well in taking advantage of the free agents that were available from a coaching standpoint, locking them down before they could get signed by another team. So often those things get swept under the rug and you don't pay enough attention to them, and yet here it happened from a coaching standpoint, the way that we've always talked about what John Elway and the team has been able to do with the player side of things. Of course, you've still got to do it with the players. We know we need to improve the offensive line for the Broncos, all those kinds of things. But I like the feeling. I don't want to say they won coaching free agency because I think that's overstating it, but they certainly have made some smart decisions in terms of the people that they have brought in. Briefly, as we take a look at the national side of things, we know the final 4 teams for the playoffs. I kind of feel like the playoffs got it right. I think these are the 4 teams that belong there. Do you agree?
Yeah, that's the beauty of playoffs. It's no voters. There's none of that. They play and they get...
But I want to vote.
Yeah, but these do feel like the best 4 teams. I mean, I think there's obviously some surprise that maybe Dallas, with the best record in the league, didn't get this far. But when you see how Green Bay's been playing, it's not necessarily about the overall record. It's about who's playing better on that day. Green Bay looked really good, even though I think it's obvious Dallas isn't going anywhere. Exciting. The one thing I find interesting about this, Nate, is the fact that in almost all these cases, the opportunity to say which team has the better quarterback this weekend. And that's how you could tell. With the exception of maybe the Seattle-Atlanta game, which is pretty tight. The rest of it was, this team has a better or more experienced quarterback than the other team, and they won. These 2 championship games, neither of those teams can say that anymore. Nope. You have Aaron Rodgers and Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan might be the league's MVP. You have Tom Brady versus Ben Roethlisberger. This will be the first time they've been in a championship game since Roethlisberger's rookie season. But we're talking about elite quarterbacks, and no longer can any of these 4 teams go, we have the better guy throwing the ball, so we have a built-in advantage.
Barring injury, you're looking at, for the 13th time in the last 14 years, you will have either a Manning, Roethlisberger, or Brady-led team playing in the Super Bowl. It's amazing the way that those 3 quarterbacks have continued to rise to the top in the AFC, to Shawn's point. Who has the better quarterback? That tends to be what carries you forward. As we go throughout the week, we'll continue to keep you updated on the Broncos coaching staff moves, as well as the rest of the NFL. We'll take a look at Nuggets, Avs, all the rest of it. And Shawn, as the snow is falling outside, I know you're thinking pitchers and catchers. So plenty to be able to talk about as we go throughout. Thanks for stopping by in the Morning Minute. Remember the radio show, weekday morning, 7 a.m. on Mile High Sports Radio, AM 1340, FM 1047, as well as everything we've got posted at 5280sportsnetwork.com. And be sure to search your favorite app store, Google Play or the iTunes Store. The 5280 Sports Network app is up and posted and available for you to be able to carry our gorgeous faces around with you everywhere you go. For Shawn, I'm Nate. Thanks. Have a great day.